Let's be honest, we all have dreams, big goals we want to accomplish, and a version of ourselves we're striving to become. But no matter how much effort we put in, it often feels like we're stuck in the same routines, repeating the same cycle day after day without making real progress. You wake up, follow the same habits, get the same results, and then wonder why nothing ever changes. Have you ever felt like this? Like you're putting in the work but not seeing the progress you expect? It's easy to assume that change requires a massive leap or some dramatic turning point. But what if the key to transforming your life was actually much simpler? What if it all came down to one powerful idea: becoming unrecognizable? The reality is, the biggest transformations don't come from sudden, drastic changes. They come from small, deliberate actions repeated consistently over time. Stoicism teaches us that true transformation isn't about making grand gestures. It's about creating unshakable systems and daily habits that steadily bring us closer to the person we want to become. In this episode, we'll explore how you can completely shift your life in just 1 week by applying Stoic principles to build effective systems, develop lasting habits, and embrace a new identity. This is about mastering your life, reshaping your mindset, and taking control of your actions so that by the end of the week, you're on a whole new path. So, are you ready to become unrecognizable? Let's dive in. 1. Master your life with unshakable systems, not fleeting motivation. How often have you relied on motivation to get things done? You wake up feeling energized and ready to take on the day, but by the afternoon, that motivation starts to fade. By the evening, you realize you didn't accomplish as much as you had hoped, and so the cycle continues. Temporary bursts of motivation followed by inevitable burnout. You end up stuck, constantly waiting for that spark of inspiration to push you forward, only to be disappointed when it doesn't last. The problem with relying on motivation is that it's unreliable. It's just a feeling, and feelings change. One day, you're full of energy and determination, and the next, you struggle just to get out of bed. If you only take action when you feel motivated, you'll never create the life you truly want. The truth is, transformation isn't driven by motivation. It's driven by systems. Systems are the foundation of every disciplined, successful life. Think of them as your daily routines, habits, and rituals, the actions you take consistently, regardless of how you feel. Unlike motivation, systems don't depend on your emotions. They are built on discipline and repetition, eventually becoming second nature. Having strong systems in place provides both structure and freedom. They ensure that you keep moving forward no matter what mood you're in or what circumstances you're facing. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't wait for motivation to take action. They relied on discipline and routine. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most well-known Stoic philosophers, wrote in Meditations, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly and take care that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature." Marcus understood that our actions shape our lives, and those actions must be guided by strong, consistent systems, not by fleeting motivation. The Stoics believed that real success comes from habits, not emotions. They built routines and frameworks that kept them disciplined, no matter how they felt on any given day. They didn't wait to feel motivated to do what needed to be done. They made it a part of their existence. So, how can you start mastering your life through unshakable systems? The first step is to stop depending on motivation and instead design systems that free you from needing it in the first place. Your systems can be as simple as setting aside dedicated time each day to focus on your most important tasks, committing to a morning routine that sets the tone for the day, or scheduling regular physical exercise and mental reflection. The key is consistency. No matter how small, do something each day that moves you closer to your goals. Over time, these small, repeated actions add up, leading to significant progress. Eventually, they won't require motivation at all. They'll become automatic. You'll wake up and follow your systems without even thinking about it, and suddenly, you'll find yourself closer to your ideal self without needing that initial spark of motivation. Start with just one small system today. Maybe it's dedicating 10 minutes each morning to plan your day, or deciding to take a 30-minute walk after dinner. Once you've mastered that, add another. Slowly but surely, your life will be shaped by the systems you build, systems that will carry you through even the most difficult days without relying on motivation. Remember, motivation is temporary, but systems are the force that keeps you moving forward. 2. Reprogram your mind with Stoic courage and resilience. Have you ever faced a challenge that felt impossible to overcome? Maybe it was a difficult conversation, a setback at work, or a personal struggle that made you question your own strength. In these moments, it's easy to feel powerless, as if the world is working against you. But here's the truth. Your strength isn't defined by the challenges you face. It's defined by how you choose to respond to them. The Stoics understood this truth long before we did. They believed that adversity isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. Stoicism teaches us that it's not the events themselves that shape our lives, but rather how we react to them. When we approach challenges with courage and resilience, we train our minds to become stronger instead of weaker. In difficult moments, we have a choice. We can react from a place of fear and anxiety, or we can respond with strength and determination. Stoic philosophers like Seneca and Epictetus emphasized that external factors, things beyond our control, like circumstances or the opinions of others, only have power over us if we allow them to. What truly matters is how we choose to react. Imagine facing a difficult situation, maybe a high-pressure project at work or a personal conflict. Instead of panicking, what if you reframed it as an opportunity for growth? What if, instead of thinking this is too much, you shifted your mindset to this is a challenge I can handle? This keeps the structure and style intact while rewording things just enough for a fresh feel. Let me know if you'd like any tweaks. It's easy to focus on how hard something is, but what if instead you asked yourself, what can I learn from this? In that moment, you're not just enduring adversity, you're embracing it. You're using it as fuel to build resilience. This is Stoic courage in action, the courage to face difficulties head-on, knowing they will make you stronger. Resilience is the ability to keep moving forward even when things get tough. It's about viewing setbacks not as failures, but as stepping stones toward growth. When you adopt this mindset, you begin to rewire the way you see challenges. Instead of perceiving them as obstacles, you start recognizing them as opportunities to develop your inner strength. Seneca once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." What he meant was that our time and energy are valuable, and we squander them when we retreat from challenges instead of facing them. When we resist adversity, we miss the opportunity to grow. But when we embrace it, we don't just become stronger, we become wiser. The next time you're confronted with a challenge, ask yourself, how can I face this with courage and resilience? Instead of dwelling on how difficult it is, shift your focus to what it's teaching you. Instead of seeing it as a roadblock, recognize it as an opportunity to fortify your inner strength. You always have the power to choose how you respond to adversity. That choice is what defines your character. Reprogramming your mind takes time, but the more you practice this mindset, the more resilient and courageous you'll become. Before long, what once felt like overwhelming obstacles will turn into opportunities, opportunities to grow, to learn, and to become the person you were meant to be. 3. Forge an iron will through relentless physical discipline. We've all heard the saying, "Your body is your temple." But how often do we actually treat it that way? It's easy to neglect physical discipline, especially when life gets busy, when the couch seems more inviting than the gym, or when 100 other responsibilities demand our attention. Yet, the Stoics understood a fundamental truth. True mental and emotional strength is built on a foundation of physical discipline. The mind and body are deeply connected, and if you want to cultivate an unshakable mindset, you have to start by strengthening your body. This isn't about aesthetics or achieving a certain look. It's about building resilience, energy, and self-discipline, traits that will spill over into every other aspect of your life. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, didn't just preach this idea, he lived it. He intentionally embraced discomfort as a way to fortify his mind, whether by walking long distances or practicing fasting to strengthen his willpower. His approach to life wasn't centered on indulgence, it was about mastering himself and his environment. Imagine waking up every morning and making a commitment to move your body, not just as a temporary goal, but as a permanent part of your routine. Whether it's walking, running, lifting weights, practicing yoga, or simply stretching, the key isn't intensity, it's consistency. This daily commitment to physical discipline creates a ripple effect, strengthening not just your body, but also your willpower, determination, and resilience. These qualities are essential for overcoming life's challenges. Physical discipline is about showing up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. It's about making the decision to move, to stretch, to push yourself beyond comfort, even when every part of you wants to stay still. Over time, this transforms into an unbreakable habit. It becomes an integral part of who you are, and that discipline starts to extend into every other area of your life. Just as you become more disciplined in your physical routine, you begin to cultivate mental discipline, making you more equipped to handle life's challenges with calm and control. Think about how much we rely on our bodies. Every decision we make, every challenge we face, is influenced by our physical state. If you're exhausted, sluggish, or out of shape, even the simplest tasks can feel overwhelming. But when your body is strong, energized, and in motion, everything else becomes easier. You think more clearly, handle stress more effectively, and approach your goals with greater intensity. The Stoics believed that voluntary discomfort, whether through fasting, exposure to the cold, or intense exercise, was a way to practice self-control and discipline. When you push your body beyond its comfort zone, you prove to yourself that you are capable of enduring hardship. You become more resilient, more focused, and more disciplined, not just physically, but mentally as well. So how can you begin incorporating physical discipline into your own life? It doesn't have to be extreme. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights right away. Start small. Commit to a daily walk. Try a new form of exercise. Do something, no matter how small, that challenges your body. What matters most is consistency. Over time, you'll start to notice the difference, not just in your physical health, but in your ability to stay disciplined in every other aspect of your life. Mental discipline starts with physical discipline. Every time you commit to strengthening your body, you're also strengthening your mind. The two are inseparable. The discipline you develop through physical effort, whether it's pushing through a workout, maintaining a consistent routine, or simply choosing movement over comfort, translates into mental resilience. So get moving. Build your body, build your will. Watch how the strength you develop physically carries over into every aspect of your life. 4. Purge distractions and toxic influences without mercy. We live in an age of constant distractions, relentless notifications, endless news cycles, messages, emails, and the pressure to always be on. These aren't just minor inconveniences, they're stealing your time, energy, and peace of mind. If you allow them, they'll prevent you from living the life you truly want. But here's the question: are you in control of your time, or are you letting outside forces dictate how you spend your days? Distractions, whether digital, environmental, or personal, don't just waste time, they drain your mental energy, scatter your focus, and keep you from making real progress toward your goals. They're like thieves, silently robbing you of your most valuable resource, your attention, and often you don't even realize it's happening until it's too late. The Stoics valued simplicity and discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." In other words, your life is shaped by what you focus on. The more you allow your attention to be pulled in different directions, the more fragmented your energy becomes. If your mind is constantly bouncing from one distraction to the next, how can you expect to make meaningful progress? How to break free. You must purge distractions ruthlessly. This doesn't just mean deleting a few apps or turning off your phone for an hour. It means eliminating anything, physical, digital, or personal, that doesn't support your purpose or long-term goals. Start with your environment. If you're surrounded by clutter, unnecessary commitments, or toxic people, take action. Clean your space. Organize your life. Cut out anything that doesn't move you forward. This might mean saying no to pointless meetings, distancing yourself from negative people, or even unfollowing social media accounts that drain your energy. And you don't need to justify it to anyone. This is about protecting your focus so you can dedicate your energy to what truly matters. One of the core principles of Stoic discipline is controlling what you can and letting go of what you can't. If you're constantly worrying about things outside your control, like the opinions of others, the latest news, or other people's actions, you're wasting valuable mental and emotional energy. That energy is too precious to be squandered. This is a process. You won't remove every distraction overnight, but you can start small. Identify the biggest culprits. Is it social media? Set strict time limits or delete unnecessary apps. Negative self-talk. Challenge and replace those thoughts. Clutter. Declutter your space and make room for clarity. Toxic people. Set boundaries or cut ties entirely. The point is simple. Distractions don't just steal your time, they weaken your resolve. The more you allow them to creep in, the harder it becomes to stay disciplined. But when you actively purge them, you reclaim control. You create space for clarity, focus, and real progress. Your mind is a garden. If you let weeds grow unchecked, they will suffocate the plants meant to thrive. But if you pull those weeds one by one, you make room for real growth. So take a moment to evaluate your life. What distractions or toxic influences are holding you back? Start eliminating them, step by step, starting today. Your future self will thank you for the peace and clarity you create. D5. Sever all ties to your old self with a bold, symbolic act. Have you ever felt like you're holding on to habits, beliefs, or patterns that no longer serve you? Maybe you've outgrown certain behaviors, but you still find yourself clinging to an outdated version of who you used to be. The past can be a heavy burden, and if you're not careful, it can keep you stuck. Sometimes the most powerful step forward is letting go. The Stoics taught that we should never let the past define us. They believed that every moment presents a new opportunity to choose who we want to be, regardless of past actions, mistakes, or regrets. Epicurus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, understood this deeply. The Stoic philosophers taught that the only thing we truly control is our own thoughts and actions, not the events that have already happened. Now imagine this. You've been carrying a heavy bag filled with old habits, limiting beliefs, and fears that no longer serve you. This baggage is weighing you down, preventing you from stepping into the future you desire. But what if, right now, you chose to let it all go? What if you decided that today marks the beginning of a new chapter? This is exactly what you can do with a bold symbolic act. It might sound dramatic, but sometimes we need a physical representation of letting go to make it real in our minds. The power of symbolism. One of the most effective ways to do this is by writing down every habit, fear, or belief that has been holding you back, then destroying the list. Burn it, tear it up, bury it. Whatever method resonates with you, the act itself sends a powerful message to your subconscious. This chapter of my life is over. I am choosing a new path. Imagine the weight lifting off your shoulders. The act of physically destroying something that has defined you for so long is a declaration that you are no longer bound by it. You are no longer the person you were yesterday. You are stepping into your power, embracing your future self, and opening the door to endless possibilities. This isn't just about discarding bad habits or cutting ties with negativity. It's about shedding the mental baggage that keeps you stuck in old cycles. It's about saying goodbye to beliefs like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed," and making space for new, empowering thoughts that align with the person you are becoming. Embracing change, like the Stoics. The Stoics believed in living in harmony with nature, and that includes embracing change. Growth requires letting go. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. If you want to evolve, you must make space for the new. So, what can you do today to sever ties with your old self? Write down the habits, fears, and beliefs that have been holding you back. Be brutally honest with yourself. Then destroy that list in a way that symbolizes your commitment to change. It may feel uncomfortable, but that's the point. Growth isn't always easy, but it is always worth it. This is how you break free from the past. This is how you embrace the person you are becoming, the person who lives with purpose, clarity, and self-discipline. Severing these ties is a powerful way to declare, "I am moving forward, and nothing is going to hold me back." So take action today. Let go of what's weighing you down and step fully into the future you're meant to create.